Record.
What's up, Washington?
All right, what's up? It is Thursday, February the 9th, 2017. Day number 27. Marathon to a million. One step at a time. Another green day. Well, we got the green shirt. I know I promised you all that I would wear Patriot blue all week, but such a green day, I had to put on the green Wolves of Wall Street shirt for today. So let's get into the journal post. Today's journal post was a celebration of restoration, and Bible verse was Psalm 23:3. Israel hopes he is risen. Most people who begin the marathon to a million won't spend weeks or months purposely losing on trades. Sometimes a losing streak may be upon you, but the beauty of cutting losses quickly is you stay in the game to wake up the next day to do it all over again. Remarkably and thankfully, it does not take long to build the account through compounding. Check out compounddaily.com. Put your beginning balance in every day and set a goal for that day. In fact, in as little as 13 weeks, which is how long the first leg of the marathon to a million will be to complete, by only gaining 4% per play, even if you're right only 67% of the time, you can build your account between 62 and 100%. I'm often awestruck by the ability of compounding. When you decide to day trade and then follow a sound scientific approach, you can experience a lower risk for failure and enjoy a higher quality of returns. Pretty solid. If you're practicing or doing trades, I would encourage you to put your trades in Trader View. It's free, as well as do recap videos to yourself. Castillo Capital, shout out to my boy. He had stopped doing his recaps and he started back to doing them. And one of the reasons that I even do recaps, oddly enough, not that I don't love you guys, it's really not for you. It's really for me to be able to evaluate my thought process and my thinking and to shore up any of the areas where I am not doing well at or having an issue with my trades, because each day we want to grow and learn and be a little bit better. And I would encourage you that if you are not doing recap videos and you are not tracking your trades somewhere where you can see what your strong points are, I would highly encourage you to make that a good habit. At the end of the video, we're going to watch an inspirational video on the word joy. And I enjoy what I do. I don't too much even look at my P&L. I think today was the first day I even looked at my 2017 total stat overall, and I don't get too much caught up in that. I'm just trying to enjoy life each day, take winning trades, go to sleep and do it again on the next day. All right, so let's get into it. Let's get over here and look at these trades and see what we did good on. We had a headache in the afternoon, so we only traded in the morning, but we got the morning started off right. The first day trade of today was AEHR. And my goodness, solid play. Look to the left for clues. Interestingly enough, it is now recovered from the 2.9s back to 330 at the close. Nice, and thanks, AEHR. So here's what I mean by look to the left. First of all, February 8th, it ran to 360. When it touched the 360, what did it do? It dropped 60 cents. This morning, it came back to 340 and showed weakness. We're short at 332 pre-market, and we're covering as it comes back to 3. For those of you all that watch me live, for those of you that don't, people often will notice that I'm pretty particular about my 50% retracements. And two things. Number one, statistically it works. Number two, the play from yesterday when it pulled back from $3.6 to $3, well, that's a 60-cent drop. I walked into today looking for it to play it for 30 cents. Guess what I got? 28 cents. Solid play, solid exit. It took me 30 minutes. This was my first entry after getting in from the gym. Took the play, watched it fade off strong at the open, and we were out. Probably could have faded a little bit more, but like I said in the note, they were all the way back up to 330 at the end of the day, so that's good. See what's popping on tomorrow. Tomorrow I will not be actually live trading. I'm going to probably do some paper trading. We're going to try working on our IB desktop platform a little bit. And we got some traveling going on. So, all right, next ticker. CLF. Here's the chicken play. Out like a chicken. Play the chart, not your heart. A little more patient, and this thing goes to 11.2 and or near 11. I thought it was 11.2, but let me see. Yeah, it was 11.2. And later 11.70, which I surely wouldn't have stayed around for. More funny is they have a dilution now for offer after hours. Snapped it down $1. Shout out to my boy John up in Jersey. He sent the text message that they put an offering out, and after hours they went from 11.7. Actually, the drop started about 15 minutes before the market closed, and I did see it at like 10.8, so it dropped a whole dollar. I don't even know the particulars about it, but it is what it is. And they were pretty much way out there, extended at their 52-week high as well. Speaking of 52-week highs, if I can get my mouse back on the screen, there we go. CXRX. We'll come back to the other one. CXRX is the next play. Completely missed the play yesterday. Here's what's crazy about CXRX. I called Ricky on the phone, and I was like, Rick, are you serious? This just happened to me. First of all, CXRX, if you guys remember, I was buying way back in November, adding to a position that I initially started back in August on a swing trade. Look at that gap. You see this gap? I hope you guys can see this gap. There's a gap right here from 350 down. Comes back to 350 down. We also added some December 29th at $2.11. When it started finally paying me, this is nothing about the chart on my swing trade in Robinhood told me to get out. My emotion said I'm tired of holding it because I'm no longer swing trading with Robinhood. I'm using it for JDST and NUGT, as I mentioned yesterday's recap video, for day trades only. And I'm going to try to build that account over a PDT just on those two tickers mostly, like 90% of the time. Every once in a while I may take another trade, but the plan for 2017 is to hold it and only trade those two tickers. Now, in the recap video last week, I said, I'm going to get out. It's touching the 250s. I had like a nice 10, 12% gain. My anticipation was that it would revisit 3.2 or 3.4. What did I write? Yes, may run at 3.2 or 3.4 and then struggle. Lo and behold, 4 days later, they are spoon feeding us. Yesterday I went long. Today I busted them short and will salivate at the notion if it goes back to the 3.334 area. This is the daily chart back to November. This is the chart from February 1st. It finally made its push. Guess where it went to? 3.4. Look to the left. What happened the last time we were at 3.4? We snapped down to 2. So remember I told you I'm big about 50% or half moves. So if it was 3.4 and went to 2, that's $1.70. On this occasion from 3.4, I don't need you to go to $1.70. I just need you to go 85 cents down from 3.40, which would put you at what? About 260, 255. I want to bet what the price did right here. It went down to 260, 255. Now, I didn't take that short yesterday. I actually was long. And as I was doing the recap video for you guys yesterday, once I saw and was mentioning in the recap video, yep, I got out at 323 because I expected resistance. As soon as I said those words, it all came back to me, which is cool because guess what? Today, as they reached trying to get back to 320, I'm like, nope, let's get short. You shouldn't be up here. Let's see if we push you back down. And it went down to the 280 mark, which was about 50% retrace, and put a 2 or 3 cent trail. I think it touched 280. They got us out at 283. So pretty solid, but we missed yesterday. We did miss yesterday. Yesterday was a very good opportunity to have been short. And if you look here in the bottom left, CXRX on the 30-minute chart, see how that 3.2, we could have been shortening the 3.2s down. You see it went down from 3.4 to 2.6. 3.4 to 2.6 is what, 80 cents? So add 40 cents plus 2.6, that puts you at 3. We've now 50% retraced that play. That's why I'm short at 3.04. And if we 50% retrace a 40-cent move, I'm trying to play you for 20 cents. Guess what, guys? I got them for 20 cents. And we'll continue to watch them. We'll see if they spike a little bit tomorrow, maybe run it back up to the 3.334 area. Solid stuff. IMPV. Drag, I put drag, but drag play, I cover, then it snaps to my goal of 46. We were live in the afternoon, 30 minutes, maybe a little bit later. But what can I say? It bounced off 46.35 like 5 times. I can't stay around hoping so. We will take profit. So it ended up being like a 50-cent, 49-cent gain. But my anticipation was that it was going to pull back to 46. The other thing too, big time, I don't know if I mentioned it to everybody live, but look, the reason I thought it would struggle at 49 is, guess what? We just closed the gap. Look at that gap right there. We down back in November. It finally closed this gap. Closing the gap is a lot to do. It's going to struggle right there for a minute. Will it get back over and keep running up? It's possible, but that's a lot to do to go from 35 back to 50. That's a 30% reverse in 3 months. That's a lot to do for a stock as heavy price as that one. I don't even know what the news was that caused them to gap down. I bet you there's some swing trade theses that after that bleed off happened, if you put a trend line on that and it begins to close this gap, you probably could have got you 10 to 15% that way too. Here's the, speaking of 52-week high, the last play of the day. Started this guy at 48.25. Actually, I thought I was at 48.10, but I went back and looked at all my plays. So 48.25 on the initial. It went to 49.40 actually. So it actually pushed against me $1 and some change, but it was still showing weakness up there, and we're at a 52-week high. It too has closed the gap from a long time ago, and I think it's at least at a 3-year high if I'm not mistaken. So my anticipation was weakness and drop, weakness and drop. It did not. And here's what I'm looking at on this chart. Number one, you have a candle weight that goes a little bit over 46, right? This was resistance until it broke through it, which now it becomes support. Get weak, and let's go back and test it again. So 46 and some change was really the goal. I ended up getting out into 47.54 area with a 5-cent trail, touched 47.5 and pushed me at 47.54. It ended up rolling over and going back down another $1. So all points considered, I was probably pretty much on point with the play, but I also have to take profit because there were some signals telling me to take profit. Later in the afternoon, it did give a bear flag maybe to re-enter. I guess if you put a trend line right here between 1 and 2, and it's struggling with 48 because it was holding 48, and then it snapped. Now it can't get back through 48, comes back down. It's trying 48 again, showing weakness and snapping to a trend line. If you put one there, it rolled on over from 47.90 down to 46-ish, 46.90. I think that's it. All 5 plays are done. ABXL and PIP are now in pocket. We're just hanging around with them. And I'm comfortable on both plays. We got some stuff going on next week, and I'm all right with that. So we'll see. I'll keep you guys posted on how they work out. I think that's it. So that'll end my part of the recap. Let's watch the motivational video. I will catch you guys. I will be live for pre-market prep tomorrow, but it's unlikely that I'll be taking any live trades because we'll be live. Where's the voice? There she is. Have a good one.
Was I watching?
One of the most interesting things to think about is where we are, deep in a situation called humanity, and what it is to be human. To be human is to be in the same breath incomplete and fulfilled. To be human is to want and at the same moment be satisfied. To be human sometimes feels like a strange contradiction. We want peace, but we use war to earn it. We're desperate for love, but we make it a prisoner once we have it. We look for answers, but we turn them into mysteries once we find them. So it's no surprise that fundamental to what it is to be human is a deep desire to have the ultimate contradiction called joy. Joy is difficult because if you have it, you know what it is. If you've lost it or don't have it, you marvel at it. You wonder what it is, if it's real, if it will ever be yours. Is it something I'm given? Can I possess it? What does it cost? I believe that when it comes to joy, most people don't know what they want because they don't know what joy is. I'm certain they've experienced it. I know they felt it, joy, but they don't know what joy is. And when you don't know what joy is, it's a feeling you learn to distrust. It's a feeling that raises suspicion. If you don't know what joy is, your fear is that it will betray you, that one day it will abandon you. But still, we suspect that there's something to this feeling, something real about it. So to protect ourselves, we approach with caution. We say, if this feeling is real, then I have to earn it. I must be worthy of it. Then I'll know it's mine to possess. Then I'll be certain it will always be with me. It will never leave. And there's your trap. Joy becomes conditional. Something has to happen outside for me to feel it on the inside. Get these chains off me, then I'll have that feeling. Give me love, wrap your arms around me, kiss me like you were dying, then I'll have that feeling. You don't know what it is, joy, but you make it conditional because in the back of your mind, you're convinced that it can hurt you. If I can control it, if I can regulate it, then maybe it won't leave me. For a lot of people, this is joy, something that cannot be trusted. And if you have it, it should be kept on a leash.
What is joy? Yes, it feels like a contradiction, but what is it really? Joy, in the ordinary hours, on a random Tuesday, a sleepy Sunday, what is it? The dictionaries don't really cover it. They say it's something external that comes into you. But you know that's not all. You can feel that. There's more to it than that. Here's what I believe. Joy is a choice. Joy is love infused with happiness. You have the ability to choose joy, when the opposite of that is as real and valid an option. It's the ability to choose up when down is an option. It's the ability to say, I love you, and when you can walk away. It's the ability to be locked away, to suffer, to lose, to be rejected, and still choose something else, something above the hate, above anger, above ego, grace. In a way, joy is at the same time an act of awareness and form of ignorance, because joy is the thing, but to have it is to be joyful. Full means complete, whole, the entire thing. Nothing left out. The pain and the love, the regret and the hope, the corruption and the salvation. Everything full. This awareness, you have to know it's there. It's all in you. And at the same time, you ignore what's there and choose grace. This is the act of submission that most religions talk about. Joy is a choice. And if you don't know that, you'll confuse it for pleasure. If you don't know that it's something you choose, you'll settle for happiness and think you've discovered joy. Pleasure and happiness are externals, something that's happening outside of you. Attitudes of the body and the mind, waiting for someone or something who can give it to you. Joy, it's eternal. It doesn't flow into you, it flows out of you. It is an emotion that is expressed through your passions, your purpose. It comes from within you. It bursts through your heart and touches the hearts of others. It is a magnetic force that people want to be a part of and to experience. Joy, it's an attitude of the heart.
Follow your joy means choose. Follow your joy does not mean it's easy. It doesn't mean that surrounding your joy aren't the common and unusual pains and suffering of life. It doesn't mean that people are going to understand you, support you, or even like you. Follow your joy does not mean that your depression isn't real. It doesn't mean that where you came from and what happened to you isn't valid, isn't still attacking you, isn't still hurting you. Follow your joy means choose. It means that in the ordinary moments, when nothing at all is happening, when focusing on the stress and pressures of life is an option, choose. Choose to hold on to something else. Choose to focus on a space feels gentle, a space that's in you, that feels like swaying trees, birds gliding, feels like calm water. That space is always there. You choose to find it, because that's the space where something as ordinary as a smile turns into gratitude. That's the space where love enters. That's the space you find joy. For me, joy isn't just a feeling. It's my direction. Even at my most desperate moments, my darkest hours, I choose joy. I choose something else, something that doesn't lie about my reality, that doesn't hide my fears or disguise my weaknesses, my bitterness or my resentment. I choose to enter that place where the grass I feel between my toes or the snowflake melting on my daughter's cheek remind me that there's a whole lot more to living, and that even when I can't see it, there's still something else in me. I choose that place. I've learned to trust it, because sometimes being there is the only way to know that you're still on the right track. Sometimes being there is the only way to know that there's still something in this world that makes it special. Sometimes being there is the only way to know that there's still something here left for you to do. Joy is real, but you have to choose it. My name is Angelo, and I'm the motivator.
Solid video, guys. All right, we'll catch y'all in the morning. Have a good one. Just a quick view of what tomorrow is going to be. Actually, this is not going to be tomorrow because I'm not live trading Monday and Tuesday. This is, Friday and Monday. This is probably going to be my journal post for Tuesday because I want to make sure that this is on top of my worksheet. So even though I'll be going through the motions tomorrow because it's not live, I'm not going to use the journal post. So day 29, 30, 31, 32 will be posted for next week as well. Let me get this thing uploaded, and I'll catch you guys bright and early in the morning.
All right, Billy. Thank you.
All right, later, guys.
Take it easy.